Hello good people, it's me Kumonawa, your money manager. In today's video, I want to take you through a comparison of a studio pad and a bachelor pad. I am doing this because I've been receiving questions from people asking me what the distinction between the two is. So let's maybe just first start by making that distinction clear. What is the difference between a studio pad and a bachelor pad? This is where we are going to begin. So let's look at a studio pad. A studio pad is just one big space serving as a bedroom, a living area, and a kitchen. And sometimes we will even put a small kitchenette just to make it more modern. And then it will have a separate bathroom. That's a studio pad. And normally the minimum dimensions for a studio pad would be 5 meters by 4 meters. That is 20 square meters. So that is a studio pad. But now let's look at a bachelor pad. A bachelor pad is a one-bedroomed house. One-bedroomed house, and then it will have a separate space for the living area and the kitchen. Normally, in most cases, people will do an open plan kitchen. So that space is serving as a living area as well as a kitchen, and then there is going to be a separate bathroom. That's a bachelor pad. And normally the minimum dimensions for a bachelor pad is 6 meters by 5 meters, a minimum of 30 square meters. So I hope by now you get these distinctions very clearly, and you now know what a studio pad is and what a bachelor pad is, and you can decide on the one that you are going to go with. So today, like we always do, we are going to look at the numbers. And the reason why we're looking at the numbers is to help you, as somebody who is starting out, to see of the two, which one is going to give me better returns. Because remember, in the world of investing, we are concerned about returns. I want to put my money into an investment and I want to make good returns on that money. Otherwise, why bother? Why not take that money and put it elsewhere? If I put it, I want good returns. And also, not only good returns, I also want to recover my investment as quickly as possible. So I'm going to take you through the numbers of these two different units based on what I have personally done. And I know that some of you are going to be saying that I'm not comparing apples for apples, but unfortunately, I am not concerned too much about that. What I want you to get is the rate of return on investment and the investment payback period. But obviously the numbers are going to be different. You are never going to spend the same amount on building a studio pad and the same amount on building a bachelor pad. That will never happen. But today I'm happy that the amounts that we're sharing are quite close to one another. So let's get on to the figures. So where do we start? We start with what we call capital investment. Capital investment, this is the money that you invested or the money that you've injected in the project. How much did we do? So for a studio pad, our total capital investment is 203,166.67 tebe. This is how much we spent on a block of 3 studio pads. Remember, studio pads, I am not building them one by one on a standalone. I am doing it as a block, and each block has 3 studio pads. And this is how much we spent on the block of 3 studio pads. 203,166.67 tab. Let's look at a bachelor pad. We've recently completed 1 unit of our bachelor pad. And how much did we spend on that? We spent a total of 203,094.98 tab. 203,094.98 tab. That's how much we spent on a bachelor pad, just 1 unit. So now, after knowing your capital investment, you are now going to look at your rental. How much rental are you collecting for these different units? We call that gross rental income. For a block of studio pads, this is 3 units, we're collecting 4,500. This is our gross rental. And for the bachelor pad, we are collecting 3,000. This is the gross rental for the bachelor pad. Now you have your income, you are going to look at your expenses. Remember, I've said that you always need to know that as a business, rental business, you are also going to have what we call operating expenses. These are the key expenses that you will have to pay for the property to continue generating this rental for you. For the studio pad, our operating expenses are just 619 pula 74 thebe. 619 pula 74 thebe is what we're looking at. Let's go to the bachelor pad. It's a newly completed unit, so the expenses that we are projecting here, 375 pula on a monthly basis. We are going to deduct our operating expenses from our gross rental income to get our net operating income. And what is our net operating income for the studio pad? Our net operating income being the 4,500 minus 619 pula 74 thebe, that is giving us 3,880 pula 26 thebe. 3,880 pula 26 thebe. That is our net operating income for the studio pad. Let's cross to the other side. What is our net operating income for the bachelor pad? Is the 3,000 minus the 375. That is going to give us 2,625 pula monthly. This is our net operating income. Then we are going to pause there. Now that we have our monthly net operating income, we can work out our rate of return on investment. And when it comes to real estate, this rate of return on investment, we call it our capitalization rate or our cap rate. How do we work it out? We work it out by dividing the net operating income by the total capital employed, and then you multiply by 100. Let's look at our studio pad. What is our capitalization rate? Our capitalization rate here is our monthly net operating income multiplied by 12. And our monthly net operating income is 3,880 pula 26 thebe times 12. We get 46,563 pula 12 thebe. We divide that by 231,166 pula 67 thebe. Multiplied by 100, we get 20.14%. So our rate of return on investment for the studio pad is 20.14%. Let's look at our bachelor pad. Will it deliver the same rate of return, higher or lower? Only the numbers can tell us. So what is our monthly net operating income for the bachelor pad? Our monthly operating income is 2,625 pula. We multiply that by 12, we get 31,500. We divide that by the capital employed, which is 203,094 pula 98 thebe. Multiply by 100, we get 15.51%. 15.51% is the rate of return on investment delivered by the bachelor pad. There you have it, guys. Numbers don't lie. Which one is giving you a better return? Studio pad at 20.14, bachelor pad at 15.41. You can't argue with the numbers. So there you have it. A studio pad is actually quite a better investment to a bachelor pad. This is what the numbers are telling us. We don't stop here. We are going to take it further and look at our investment payback period. How do we look at our investment payback period? We are now going to introduce cash flow, but cash flow now will take into account debt. If we have used debt to finance either of the two, then we need to account for that. But in our case, fortunately, we have not used any debt. Therefore, our net operating income is still going to be our cash flow. This is money that's coming to us after taking care of all the expenses. 46,563 for the studio pad, 31,500 for the bachelor pad. Now, it means that my capitalization rate will also be equals to my cash on cash rate. 20.14 for the studio pad and 15.51 for the bachelor pad. Now, I am going to say 100 divided by 20.14 for the studio pad. That will give me the number of years that I will take to recover my capital investment. And for the studio pad, I'm getting 5. 20.14 into 100 is 5 times. So it will take me 5 years to recover my capital investment. All these annual rentals, annual rentals, it will take 5 years for them to add up to 231,000. Hope you get it. Let's look at the studio pad. We are also going to take the capitalization rate, 15.51 into 100. What do we get? We get 6.25. How do we interpret this? It will take us 6 years, 3 months to recover our capital investment. So which one here is coming out better? Still, a studio pad is coming out better. This one, they're also more related to the capitalization rate. If the rate of return on investment is high, then it's gonna take you a shorter time frame for you to recover your money. So there you have it, guys. Always look at the numbers. Don't make an emotional investment when it comes to property. Numbers should be your guiding principles, and we're referring to the capitalization rate as well as the cash on cash return or your investment payback period. There you have it, guys. This is all that I had for you today. I hope that this video will help somebody to make that informed financial decision. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video. Bye.